Again, I want to welcome everyone to the Social Media Mixer. My name is Stacy Kinney, and I will be your host this evening. Tonight's topic is going to be about how to use Twitter to build your brand, and it's brought to you by MyBrandingSystem.com. And before we jump into this, I want to just give some of you an idea of who I am. I actually got started on the internet a couple of years ago looking for answers, looking for a way to expand my business, market myself online, and just found an incredible world out there on the internet, just amazing things, especially through Twitter. So this is by far one of my favorite social media outlets. It has just been an incredible experience for me. I've made so many great friends and resources and learned a tremendous amount in all areas. So I'm excited to share that with you tonight. But in my quest, as you would say, I found that I was learning a whole lot, but I wasn't really monetizing it. And some of you can probably identify with that. You're out there on the internet, but are you really making money at it? Now, not everybody wants to, that's okay. But I felt like, that there had to be something to that. But for me, it had to be something of incredible value. So I've helped a lot of people. I've learned a lot, but now I'm excited, and that's why I've joined up with my branding system, because it's a great way to give someone an instant web presence and integrate my expertise, my knowledge, and that of a team of us to really help people step them through this process and make it easier for them. Not 2 years like it took me, but literally within months, and kind of streamline the process. So I'm really excited about that. That's what I do. I'm here to educate, share ideas and learn, and that is really what I feel Twitter is all about. So let's go ahead and get started. What is Twitter? Now, I know some of you guys have no idea and you're brand new, so you're wondering, what in the world is this all about? And I was in your shoes a couple of years ago. Well, it's a social networking and microblogging site. It was started in 2006, but in 2007 there were about 1.2 million tweets that were posted. Now, what's really interesting, and this just shows you the growth, as of June 2010, June of this year, it has 190 million users. People tweeting 65 million times per day. So just look at that tremendous growth. It is huge. That's where the action is, in my opinion. Now, interestingly, most of these users are adults, not teenagers. And I hear a lot of people out there saying, oh, it's only for that younger population. That is not so. They only make up 11% of the demographics. And I can speak from experience that my network and my social influence are around my same age or older. And I think it is who you attract as well. Now, businesses also use Twitter for customer service, marketing, and monitoring their brand and their reputation. It's a place where they can access the client's needs and research social trends. And I'm going to give you an example of this, because the other day I had a problem with something and I put it out there, and that company responded to me literally within the hour. Hey, why don't you check out this post over here? Maybe it'll fix your problem. That is a company that was on top of it and monitoring their brand and using it as customer service. I thought it was awesome. Actually, it was TechSmith, and I talked about it last week. Also Firefox, I had some issues with that. So there's just incredible power in what you can do in customer service and so forth as a business. Now, Twitter is where the conversation between you and your prospective clients start. It's a place for building and maintaining relationships. Now, the way I look at it, and some of you heard, it's like a dinner party or a social event. Twitter is a place where you would socialize before dinner is served. So there's definitely a culture here, and that's kind of what I want to convey with you and to you tonight is what it's all about, so you understand it, so you can really leverage it and use it for yourself as this, just to make friends, or whether it's for your business, whatever it may be, but especially if you're building your brand. Now, I thought this was really interesting to show you guys, because a lot of people have questions. Is Twitter, is it just for geeks, and what are the statistics and all of that? I took a screenshot. This is of my back office and my blog site, because I just wanted you to see the power of Twitter, because this is where the majority of my traffic, the traffic that I get to my blog, stacykinney.com, is from Twitter. You see this, twitter.com, 221 views. twit URLs, Twitter Stacey Kinney. That's huge. It is very powerful. So my goal tonight, if anything, is for you to wake up and pay attention of the power of Twitter. So if you're brand new and you're just getting started, here's some of the things that, first of all, setting up your profile. So your Twitter profile's really, it's brandable. It's fully brandable. You have control over how it looks, the background and so forth. You can upload the picture of yourself. Preferably you want this picture to be the same that you use on all social media profiles, because that's consistent with branding. Use a custom background or a color scheme that's consistent with your blog or your website. Now, I've got an example here of a friend of mine and a colleague, Debbie Russell, because I think she's just got a beautiful site and beautiful branding image here. So she's got the same look across all platforms. Okay, so this is what she chose to have as her custom background. Now, if you don't have that right now, but you want to get something, what I recommend and what I used in the beginning was twitbacks.com. So you can go and get some of these background choices for your profile. You can even write something in there about what you do and your links and your phone number or any of that you would like to make it look professional. So I definitely recommend checking that out if you don't have something like this, like we have at the branding system. Now, have fun with your bio. Okay, be professional but show your personality. You got to remember, this is social networking. You don't want it to be just totally stiff. A little bit about who you are, because you're going to attract the same type of people. Who are you looking to communicate? Who do you want to network with? I would think like-minded people, that you really can gain and share knowledge with. So just think about that. Linking to your blog rather than directly to your business site. Now, I see this a lot on Twitter, and everybody has their own personal opinion. This is just mine. I feel like if you have a business site, or maybe I'll just pick on network marketing, let's say you have that, or you have a capture page or a landing, whatever it is, if the first impression you're giving someone is that link, that's the first place they're going to go and check you out. And if it is basically like, bam, buy my stuff, think about it. Come on, what kind of impression are you giving? No, that's why it's so much better if you can link it to your blog, and if you don't have a blog, then link it to maybe your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook, okay? Because that's a much better way to socialize at a party, and I think you get my drift. So let's go over just a few definitions for all the Twitter newbies that we have. What does all this stuff mean? I know in the beginning I was like, oh my goodness, what in the world is this RT and retweet? I just thought it was like Greek. So what a RT or a retweet, it's when you repost another person's tweet to your audience. So let's say I have a friend of mine, they put out something, an article, and I think it's really great. Then I'm going to go in and put a little RT with their name, and I'll show you some of this here in just a minute, and put it out there. So in other words, I'm not going to claim that as my own. I'm going to give that person credit, just like you would an author, or if you're doing, you get the drift. So you want to be sure to give that credit. And people love it. It's great. That's how you can interact and engage, or if you read something interesting. Now the next one is hashtag. So what in the world is a hashtag? Now when you see these little pound signs out there, a lot of times this is the version of categories. So you can actually tag your tweets as well as search by hashtag. Like the best example I can give, sometimes people have different categories, or maybe you're at an event. A lot of times I see people even in social media, they'll just put social media. If it is content related to that, you have people that go onto Twitter and they're actually searching for this keyword. And we talked about this last week on the webinar, where more people are actually searching through social media like Twitter and Facebook than they are on Google. Okay, that's how powerful social media is. So you can find pretty much everything you're looking for through Twitter. Now, what are link shorteners? This is a way, if you have a really, really long link, you obviously want to shorten it, because on Twitter you only are allowed to have 140 characters. So the one that is most popular that I know of, and there's a lot of them, is bit.ly. And this is a service that will actually shorten that for you, and it'll even track it. Follow. A lot of people are like, what is this? Somebody's following me. I have no idea. What am I doing? Okay, to follow someone is to sign up and see you know that you're going to see that person's tweets. So obviously you want to be sometimes picky about who you follow because maybe you don't like what they're talking about. So you're going to target people that you have common interest and follow those people and engage and be social. Now, unfollow, that's when you decide, hey, you know what? This person is not worth following. Maybe they're using profanity. I don't know. Maybe they're just not your cup of tea. Then you probably want to stop following them and take them out of your network. Direct message or DM, so in the Twitter world we call this the DM, is the private messaging function. This is when you are like an email, like a private email. So a lot of times if I'm talking to someone on Twitter, I might talk back and forth kind of on the open stream, but then I'll take it private and then take my conversation there. Trending topics, those are the most popular things at that moment. So today, it's the election. That was one of the trending topics. There are all these things like that. So you can get involved. You can see what's going on, what's hot, what's in the news, breaking news, that kind of stuff. And then you've got lists. Now, Twitter has some lists that can help you categorize your followers and people you want to follow. You can do it privately. You can do it publicly. That's your preference. I tend to do my lists privately. I just like to keep up with people in different areas, whether these are my tech friends or these are friends that I'm, work with, or whatever it may be, to kind of group people and keep it organized. Just a few more definitions here. Follow Friday was one of the things that definitely I had no idea when I first got on Twitter. I was like, what in the world is going on? This Friday, follow Friday craziness, And it's basically just recommending people in your network to follow. And here's an example. Follow Friday, they do the little hashtag with it. I have some people right here. So this is typically what you might see on Follow Friday, just that, or maybe the FF, and then a list of names. And that's what you'll see happening on Fridays. Now, I actually prefer to do things a little bit differently. Sometimes I will thank people and do this method, but I try to pick people out and see as right here, do follow, like W. Russell. She's a great gal. She's into personal branding, Plan B specialist, eco-friendly. She's a boater, a golfer, enthusiastic. Now, I just kind of took part of her bio, okay, but I know her, so it's just a way for me to kind of show my network why they should follow her. And I just feel like some people, to me, that just makes sense. Why not tell people why they should follow them? The other one is, here's another friend of mine, Amy Drennan. She's so helpful, supportive, engaging. Check her out and get to know her. Here's her website. So that's another thing I like to do. Why not just go ahead and promote them a little bit if they're a friend of yours and that you feel like they're worth following and have value. Now, the other thing that you'll see is Music Monday. So this is a fun kind of Monday where people are tweeting out different songs and suggesting them in their network. Also, there's Eco Monday. That's where people are giving out green tips in their networking and recommending other people that are green and eco-friendly to follow, which I also participate in. So now to the Twitter etiquette. Okay, so I definitely want to hit home on this, guys. Do not spam. Big letters. Spam on Twitter, it comes in several forms. And I'll tell you what, some of you may not even realize what you're doing, and that's the whole point of this, is just to educate and so you understand the culture, what to do, not to do. A lot of times I see people promoting only their own stuff, 24/7, spamming out their links, buy my stuff, click on this. For the most part, they're not even there, which is not even social networking. And I absolutely hate this. This is the worst. People are sending out these direct messages saying, visit my site, buy my stuff, this is going to help you. I mean, come on. Like, right now as I'm saying that to you, does that sound attractive? Does it make you want to do business with them? Absolutely not. Don't be that person. Sending tweets to people asking them to visit your site and buy your stuff. So whether it's a DM or you're doing it out in the open, the same deal applies. Or even worse, letting robots tweet for you. Now, in some of my other webinars, we'll talk about some automation stuff, but for the most part, it is social media for a reason. You need to be there. There are some things that you can do to help you out and be efficient, but there are things that you don't want to do. And in saying all of that, I also want you to know, just don't go the other way and never promote your stuff. You've got to really kind of find that balance. You've got to find what works for you. I definitely recommend kind of staying on top of it. Check in, whether it's once, twice, 3 times a day. Respond to your messages, talk to your customers, talk to your friends, whatever it is. 100% automation is absolutely not recommended. Why? Because people want to talk to you and not a robot. Okay, and perfect example, I've had it happen this week. I've literally sent message after message to a particular person in an industry who's yet to ever respond. So I really don't get, what is the point? Why are you even there? And of course, you always want to thank people for following you and retweeting your content. That's the key. If someone took the time to read what you put out or to retweet it, thank them. Be grateful. And Twitter is all about that. People are sharing and helpful and retweet, and it's just awesome. Now, don't be afraid to be controversial, but be smart about it. Okay? Engage in friendly disclosure, but avoid public Twitter arguments. Fortunately, I have to say, I've not had any experience in this really. I've had a couple little things lately where people, I don't know, there's some interesting folks out there, but I try to stay away from anything too controversial. It's just not the thing that I want to deal with. Because remember, everything that you're saying and you're doing is building your brand, so you want to be very careful about what you say and what you put out there. Now, in saying that, if you can take the heat, then so be it. Avoid the hot button topics. Of course, religion and politics. That is just, I don't think you're ever going to win with that, unless you just want to debate back and forth all day long, and that's your thing. Think about promoting your Twitter account just like any other web property that you own. And don't just talk about business. Talk about other things that are interesting as well. Be a real person. Especially, I don't know if any of you guys have ever read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. But everybody should read that before they get on social networking sites. That is my firm belief, because you know what? It's not about you. It's about what you can do to help people. It's about sharing that knowledge, asking questions, and getting to know people. So find what works for you and do it. So tweeting. Now, obviously you're there to connect with people. So therefore, what I recommend is that what you're updating or your tweets should be interesting, and they should have high quality. Focus on providing information that your target audience is interested in receiving. I mean, it's okay to tweet links to your blog and your business. However, it shouldn't be the only thing that you're doing, because of course that could be viewed as spam. I suggest you tweet tips and advice to help your target audience with their problems. Remember, what are people doing online? They're searching in Google, they're searching in social media, they have a problem that they need a solution to. Generally, that's the case, okay? So, you definitely want to target that. Comment on the tweets of other members and avoid those automated direct messages, or at least make them interesting. For me personally, I don't automate the direct messages. It just junks up my inbox, and I prefer that someone just engage me directly and have a conversation. And every time someone does send me an automated message and I try to respond back, it's very frustrating. You get the point. So tweet consistently, decide whatever it's going to be, whether you're going to do it just once a day, 5 times a day, 10 times a day. Just try to be consistent in your networking. A little bit more about tweeting here. What I recommend is that you find a few blogs, things in your industry, or things of your interest. Not everybody's there to market their products, so whatever interests you, and tweet those articles of interest and give that value. Now, this is a topic a lot of my colleagues and I have always talked about. How much do you tweet? Really, it's a personal preference, and when you talk about branding, it's very interesting because, you are unique to you. I'm Stacey Kinney. What I do is not necessarily what you should do. Okay, so that's up to you. You've got to find out what works for you. Now, some people love to be out there talking all the time and engaging, some don't. Whatever it is, the important thing is to just be consistent in doing it. Now, you want to try to tweet at the times that your target audience is on the site. So what I have found, and it's not a science to it, just that people tend to be there in the morning before work, at lunchtime, or after work. I mean, that makes sense. Now, there are people that are tweeting all day long while they're working. I'm sure their employers are not very happy about that. But, or there's people like myself that I am an online entrepreneur, so I have different schedules than most of the people out there. Retweet and promote other people. I mean, think about it. How much do you love it when someone tells you that, this is great, or what you did, or I love what you're doing? They're promoting you and helping you. It's an awesome feeling. And so why not do that for other people? And absolutely engage in conversation. Be yourself. Because like I said, nobody else can do that job. No one else can be you. You are unique. So I just wanted to give a couple examples of, or one example here, of what I think is the wrong way to tweet. The no, 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 no. So I took a screenshot of that person I was telling you about. Anyways, basically spamming out their links. And if you can see here on the screen, they're talking about anyone can do this. Here's this link, looking for tools, do, all of this. I don't see any engaging. I don't see anything here. This is complete spam to me. And I know that it is to be true because the person will not even communicate back to me. And that is absolutely wrong. So what does Stacey Kinney do? I figured I would share with you my marketing strategy. As I said, will not necessarily be your marketing strategy, but I'll share it with you. So number one, I'm obviously there to promote some things for myself, my blog, my articles and content, but it's also about promoting other people. As I said, and finding and building these relationships. How can you connect people? How can you help them? That's what it's about. Retweeting other people. I like to find some funny stuff every now and then. I like to laugh. I use StumbleUpon. I think it's a great site. You can do a little bar that you stumble every now and then on some cool stuff to whatever you are interested in. Or maybe I find some other blogs that I run across that are funny, and I like to tweet that out, just kind of mix it up a little bit. Now, quotes. I've always loved quotes. Doesn't mean you want to do quotes all day long. I see that too. I see people that their whole tweet stream is of quotes. That's kind of spam too, really. They're not there. They're just tweeting out, stuff. It can be great quotes, but I do like one or two a day sometimes. Also, third-party blogs. Now, obviously, because I'm in the social media field, then I like to find things in that area, like Mashable or Social Media Today. I'm also a green, eco-friendly gal. And so Tree Hugger, Discovery, Inc. Magazine, anything business, entrepreneur related, that's who I am. That's the brand I'm building. So that's the things that I want to put out there. I also like to tweet tips and suggest tools. When I find something new that's cool, when I find something that is of value, for me, it's only when it's of value will I recommend it to other people. That's your preference, but that's how I do it. I participate in the Follow Friday and I participate in the Eco Monday. It's a fun way to get to know people, and it's a day, around that. It's really cool. I engage. Can't stress that enough. And I like to have fun. Okay, it is about having fun. Now, how do I have fun? Well, there's my profile picture. I had this for a while. Generally, like I said, keep it consistent, keep it for some time. I'm not about changing it up all the time, but I wanted to do something different, and I put this little symbol on my head that was of a charity that I support, and it kind of mixed things up for a little bit. It got people's attention. That was the point. It engaged conversation. I made new friends. It was pretty cool. Then, now my profile picture is me as the little devil. This was from Halloween this weekend. So as it gets into the holidays, I like to mix it up a little bit. At Christmas, I'll probably have a Santa hat again, just to have a little fun. That's me. That's who I am. Doesn't mean that's what you have to do. So here's an example of my tweet stream. Okay, so I wanted to kind of point out, like I said, what I do a little bit different than the guy I showed you is, as you can notice, I'm saying, hey, why don't you follow this guy? Here's some tips on the environment. I'm retweeting someone. I'm sending out some of my own content. I'm sending out third-party content. I'm participating in Eco Monday. So this was yesterday. Talked a little bit about personal stuff, how I was getting ready for Halloween, this weekend. There's a little quote. Here's some different things. So that's kind of an idea. When I look at someone and decide whether I want to follow them, this would be a person I would want to follow, right? This is someone who's engaging and interacting. So gaining followers. How do you gain followers? Now there's some different tips I want to give you. One very important one is to add the link to your Twitter account to your website. That's going to be a way for people to get to know you. But think about adding it to your email signature. Every time you send an email to your friend or whatever it is, follow me on Twitter, or just your link right there. As simple as that. Someone might click on it and there you go. You could even place it on your business cards. And if you do article marketing, then link that in your resource box. So whenever I do an article somewhere like on eZines or Hub Pages, a lot of times in the resource box I'll put where people can link to me and find me on Twitter. Place your link in a forum signature. Same thing. And for some of you that don't know what forums are, don't worry about it, but those that you do, you get it. Follow other people. Okay, that's the name of the game. Look for those people that you want to engage and interact with, and most of them will follow you back. Engage, engage, engage. You're going to hear that from me all the time because that's the most important thing. Avoid the programs that claim they're going to get you thousands of followers, okay? Because a lot of times people get caught up on Twitter like, oh my gosh, I got to get all these followers or whatever it is, and it's not about that. And some of those can get you banned for spamming. It's about quality. That's what it is. I mean, even myself, I have so many followers right now. I mean, how can I possibly talk to 15 or 16,000 people? You know what I mean? So that's not an issue. I'm just trying to weed through and find the good people at this point. Not even entirely sure how all that happened, but this is amazing things and great people. But share the link on your other social networks. So if you're on Facebook, share it there. If you're on LinkedIn, share it there. Now, how are you going to build your network? Well, the first thing is you need to know, who do you want to network with, right? I mean, what are you interested in? What is your purpose? What do you want to share ideas with? Determine who your target audience is. That's the first step. Then you can use a Twitter directory. This is one of the things I did, and it was really great because Twello is a place where people actually put themselves in categories. And you can add yourself to this directory so people can find you. So when they go there too and they're looking under entrepreneur or business or eco-friendly, home-based business, whatever it might be, real estate, they can find you. Same thing. So you can go identify people that you would like to network with. Now, some people follow everyone and some people don't. This is a personal choice, so use the list to manage your followers and your contacts. Like I said before, go for quality over quantity. Take the time to get to know the people in your network. And don't be intimidated by the big names. If you see people out there, you think, oh my gosh, they would never, you just never know. You might think they've got 100,000 followers. Why would they talk to me? You have no idea. If these people are actually building their networks and using social media, and a lot of them that I know they are, just as I am, they will talk to you. They will engage. That's what they're there for. Follow news sites for your industry. Now you can actually, like when I told you Mashable and all that, so I follow a lot of these sites as well. So you can even retweet some of this interesting news. And don't be afraid to unfollow people who have stopped tweeting. If they're only spamming and they're not engaging, like I said, quality over quantity, just like knock them off the list. Now, the Twitter has just come out with a new format, which is really very nice compared to what they had. I've used a lot of third-party tools. I'm getting familiar with the new Twitter, and I just wanted to do a screenshot and show you a little bit here because right now, as you're building your network, say you're brand new, you maybe have a couple of followers, you may not even be started yet, but you can use Twitter right here. I'm showing you in the arrow. It says who to follow, okay? Then you can actually kind of find some people like what I was talking about with Twello, but you can now use Twitter to kind of narrow it down as well. And it's a very good tool here. Now the next part right down here, if you click on who to follow, you can see there's a search button. You can see that it even gives you suggestions. You can browse different categories of interest. If it's family, fashion, funny, whatever this is, finding friends. So you can use right here within Twitter to start finding some cool people to engage and follow with. Twitter tools. Now for me, when I got started with Twitter, first of all, they didn't have the Twitter that they have now, but it became very clear to me that how in the world was I going to manage this, because I saw this stream of people and they were just streaming so quickly, and it just kind of made my eyes go back in my head. So I said, wow, I've got to manage this. Now there's hundreds of different tools and applications and things out there, and one piece of advice I want to give you is do not get sucked into all of that, because you could waste your days, your nights away looking at the new Twitter tools that are out there, because there's so many. Find a few that work for you and do what you need, and just stick with it. That's just my opinion. So I'm saying, for all of you that are new, let's just start with one. And I'm giving you two options. There's TweetDeck and there's Hootsuite. Now, I personally have always used TweetDeck, but I hear very good things about Hootsuite. But I can't train you on that because I don't use it, and because, like I said, TweetDeck works great for me. It does everything I need. I'm good with it, so that's kind of where I've stuck. And this is really like a social media dashboard, so it's going to help you manage things. And here I'm going to give you a screenshot just real quick on TweetDeck. So it's kind of like a control center. And it's not just Twitter. As you can see with these little arrows, I can post a status update to Twitter, to LinkedIn, and Facebook. So that, of course, simplifies my life a bit. Can you imagine logging into each individual social network and making a post? Okay, none of us have that much time in the day. So this has really helped me simplify it. You can even put the updates here in these little windows, but right now I just have it set up for Twitter. That's what I mainly use it for. I can see when people mention my name. I get my direct messages. I can set up groups. You can do a lot of things here with TweetDeck, and so as a management tool, this is something that I use. And like I said, I either recommend that you learn this or you do the Hootsuite, because it's really going to help you streamline things. Now, one of the things I did today is I made a blog post. So I made a video tutorial, which you can go to as soon as we end at staceykinney.com under Twitter training, and it's TweetDeck, how to use TweetDeck. So it's a 10-minute video just showing you exactly how to do this, how it works, and all the good stuff. So literally just save you a lot of time. And that's really my goal, is to try to bring to you guys, simplify things. All the things that I've learned, the right way, the wrong way, whatever it is, just simplify it and save you time and make it work for you efficiently. So I've got a little bit of homework for you tonight. So for those of you that haven't started on Twitter, and I know there's a few of you on here, so I want you to, let's say in the next week or two, set up your Twitter account, upload your picture, your bio, and your link, or no link. If you don't have any other social medias, how about just no link? Just don't put your spammy stuff up there, okay? Go to Twitbacks and find a nice, wallpaper type background, set it up and do something like that. Or if you're dealing with myself or some of my colleagues, then we can help you do that in my branding system. Then you want to do the Twitter search, which I showed you, just right within Twitter. Find a few people to follow. Okay, this is not something you have to do overnight. Just say, I'm going to follow 10 people a week, 5 people a week, whatever it is. Just get started and kind of get your toes wet, your feet wet, your leg wet. You get it. Just get started. Then maybe venture out to Twello.com. At least register yourself. Put yourself in those categories where people can find you, right? So when they go there, they could start connecting with you. And then look at who is your target market. Are you in the health industry, fitness? What appeals to you? Go follow those types of people. Another one is twitterlocal.net. And I don't think I mentioned this. I meant to throughout the presentation. But if you're localized to a specific area, then this is a way for you to connect with some local people. And, because if you have a business, obviously, that's a walk-in or a storefront or what have you, why not be able to network with people in your specific area? Now, Twitter also has a location-based search. That's changed a lot of things. So you're really being able to hone in on that a little bit better. And I'm sure there's some other tools, but I just wanted to give you some specifics here. And then, of course, TweetDeck, or if you choose Hootsuite, that's fine. But register for it, download it, start getting familiar with it. Watch the video tutorial that I have on staceykinney.com. And that's pretty much it for this week. Just real quick, and then we'll end with the next slide. I'm really excited about next week. I'm going to have a special guest, a friend of mine, Brian Daly, who's just joined up with me in my branding system, and he is just incredible with LinkedIn. And this is the important thing I want you guys to know, because I have friends of mine and people that say, oh my gosh, Stacey, you're an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm just learning like every one of you out there. Twitter has kind of been my thing. I don't really even completely understand LinkedIn. I said, Brian, I really need you to do this, and I want to learn too. I know some of the other social media, but that's what it's about, guys. Just get started. Don't worry about it if you don't know everything, and you will learn along the way. So I'm really excited to have him come on the call next week and really explain to us why. What is LinkedIn about? Because as I said in the beginning of this call, every social network has its own culture. There's a way about it. There's a right way, there's a wrong way. And if you're a business professional, do you really want to be doing it the wrong way? Perception is everything, and it's about building who you are and your brand, so why not do it the right way? So really excited, and hope you guys will get on the call next week for that. And I'm just going to finish up with this last slide, and if you've been on my calls before, you've seen it, but I love to end on this because this theme and the little flip-flops come from this. Every step you'll take in life will leave a lasting impression. And I feel like that is so true in life, but also building your brand and your internet presence. So just think about who you want to be. Some of these words on here, this is who I want to be, who I am, who I strive to be. Everybody is unique to them. And you can find me at stacykenny.com. Thank you for joining us and My Branding System for really helping in this platform and promoting it. It's been just a wonderful experience to work with such a great team of people and share resources. We all get to help each other build our passion and our brand in all different industries and educate, and knowledge is power. So thank you guys for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.